Good morning, everyone. This is Srikanth Rajan. Welcome back to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com, the only community where you get guidance assistance to invest in stock market, bonds, mutual funds, and all kinds of insurance. Now, looking at the market yesterday, it was of course looking weak. In fact, even though the market opened, Indian stock market opened above 17,100 with a gap up, but it could not be sustained. It was continuous selling scene. Every rise was getting sold off. So, of course, it was expected that the FIs would have sold big, and we could see the Nifty actually closing at 17,007, just above 17,000. But then, of course, it was looking weak, and we did expect, some danger staying at 17,000, and that's exactly why we kind of reduced our put positions. But then, yes, FIS had sold for 2,823 crores. But one good thing I would say here, the DIIs have started buying. So they actually have bought for 3,504 crores. So there is, of course, a lot of support coming in from the DIIs, and that's something kind of, I would say, appreciable right now. Now, looking at the US market, what happened in the US market? In fact, the US market in the evening opened with a gap up. And as I was looking at the US market moving in the gap up, I thought, okay, things were looking better. But then, no, after some time, there was again a lot of sell off coming, and we could see the US market going into a big red after a gap up opening. So it could not be sustained, and we could see the huge sell off happening in the US market as well. Now, definitely when US market is going bad, and also S&P 500 after all the fall has touched the 2-year low, and that is something which is not looking good, taking it to the fresh bear territory. So with all this, there was a global sell-off, and the same thing was expected and seen in the Asian markets. We could see Asian markets also kind of trading in the red. Korean market is down by 2.7%, and we could also see Shanghai down by 1%, but that doesn't make difference to us, but because China doesn't make much of difference today. Japan market is also down 2.2%. So overall, it's a very bearish day, and we can see the same thing in SGX 50 as well. SGX 50 is already trading at 16,850, which is almost 150 point gap down, movement from opening from the yesterday's close. So definitely the next, like we discussed yesterday in the podcast, 17,000 has been broken in a gap down. So that means there is going to be a good fall. And we can see a very good support at 16,800, but if that is broken, 16,700 and 16,600 is the next important support to be taken care of. So with that, we could see some heavy sell-off happening in the market today. But then, as we have been discussing, I am expecting a pullback. So if market continues to fall today, there are chances it can actually have a pullback today from the 850 level. But if that does not happen, then that can be postponed for tomorrow. So that means we could have a pullback, and that could be a very strong pullback, as it's a monthly expiry. I am expecting a big pullback from the level that could also, probably be dangerous. So that's something that we need to look at. So I would say for traders, if you want to be safe, it's better you stay off the market for next 2 days. Volatility is going to be on the peak, and it's not easy to trade in this kind of market conditions. So it is, of course, not a great day for traders, but for investors, look for good stocks, good accumulation. In fact, yesterday we could see Power Grid, as we had spoken about the Power Grid in the podcast yesterday. We could see the Power Grid recovering, and we could see it closing almost 2% higher. Similarly, there are some good news coming in from Exide Industries, as they've started their lithium-ion cell manufacturing plant in Bengaluru, and that's something good. So it's a new stock that is added to our radar. Apart from that, SBI Card is doing really well. If you see, after the big billion day sale announced by Flipkart, and also similar great Indian sale announced by Amazon, a lot of discounts happening, especially for SBI Cards, and that's exactly what is seen. SBI Cards are doing well in terms of business, and that's exactly what is driving some power into SBI Cards. So that's something another to be on focus. Bharat Petroleum can be in focus, as LIC has acquired about 2% stake, increasing their stake to almost 9%, which is something really good. So Bharat Petroleum can be another stock in our portfolio, that can be looked at. So next important news is Motherson Sumi Wires, as the company is actually planning to meet on December 30th and considering a proposal of bonus shares issue. So that is another stock which is, in fact, if you see, Motherson Sumi has actually been falling, but Motherson Wires also is kind of has taken a small fall and kind of settling down. So of course, looks good to add more if you want in this quantity at this kind of time. But then, of course, I will be sharing whenever I am adding into it in the community. So apart from that, so as I said, the Asian markets are already trading in the negative, and things are not at all looking good in the Asian markets. And similar thing is what is seen in India as well. So 17,000 has been broken downwards, and naturally the weakness is seen. So it's very important that we watch the market closely. It could actually give jitters to people who are holding puts. That's exactly why we reduced the put side yesterday, and I'm sure all of us would be happy with what we had done yesterday. So with that, this is Srikanth Rajan signing off. Looking forward to a profitable closing of the week, but yes, volatile days ahead. So with that, of course, let us trade cautiously, or I would say for safety, let us even exit the market at this point of time. It's better to stay out with the kind of volatility that's happening in the next 2 days. So with that, this is Srikanth signing off. But before we leave, do press the like button if you love the content that we share. This motivates us. And of course, do share this podcast with your friends and relatives to help them learn and invest together with us. Goodbye and have a great day.